Susie, let's start. Can you explain for me what you're doing here on your community project?
Well, this is going to be a park, but we haven't made the structure yet.
Okay.
And then, let me just put it on. We haven't decorated ours, but this is a toy store.
Okay.
There's a little house.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it's meant to go that way. There's another house.
Okay.
There's another house. And then a little house right here. And then we have a tall building, which is not, these aren't requirements.
Okay.
And then this is the government building. And so we have that. And then as you know, there's going to be a park here. And then this is the road. And this extra pavement, which we'll add something to, like a path or garbage bin or something. An extra pavement. And this, we're going to put a fence up. It's like kind of like a gated community.
Awesome.
And that's all.
Now, Taylor, how did you work out the measurements?
Well, first we kind of just played around with numbers to try and figure out, and we multiplied and did the formulas to figure out the surface area.
Okay, so what did you figure out?
So here we have our plan, and those were these are the measurements we use for our buildings. And
Okay.
when we multiply them into the formulas, we know what meets the requirement.
Okay.
For the toy store, it has to be 150
Units.
units
Yeah.
squared. And for the government office, it has to be in between the toy store and the hall.
Okay. Now, how did you get 150 units squared? What did you make dimensions?
The dimensions
For the surface area.
yeah, we have, it's 25 centimeters by times 6. So, this.
Okay, but that was for the area. So how did you get that as the area? Like, what would be, okay, so we were doing surface area here, right? So if this area was 25 units squared, what would the dimensions
For the
have been?
length, it's 5 times 5, and on each side it would be 25, and then
Yeah.
times 6.
Yes,
So 5 times 5 equals 25, and 25 times 6 equals 100.
thank you. And then how did you work out the other dimensions?
So the other buildings, well, the only ones we needed were this one, and the toy store.
Right,
So this is the government building.
Yeah.
And this, 6
Yeah.
centimeters, which we're counting as the height.
yep,
And then the width is 2 centimeters. And then what am I doing?
yeah,
Width.
yeah,
And then the length is 6.
yeah,
And so for this side, it's 6 by 6 by 6 by 6.
yeah,
6 times 6 is 36.
Yeah.
So that's 36, and then 36 over here.
yeah,
And then one of these, 6 times 2
Yeah.
equals 12, and 12, 12, 12, 12. So we added that all up, and we got, let me see, what did we get? 120 centimeters squared. Yeah, that's what
okay, which was what? What was the
it
requirement?
was in between the toy store and the house, which you can see in the size. If you line this up, it's the biggest, and then all smallest. And the height doesn't really determine what's the biggest. So,
How do you know the height here wouldn't determine what's the biggest?
well, because the width of this box
Yeah.
is much more, like almost, well, it's double. So
Yeah,
that would be bigger, and then this is just 2 less, which because of the, well.
yeah.
Yeah, it's technically supposed to be 2 less, but the measurements are a bit off because we're using the units on the grid,
Yeah, which
so
is-
it's hard,
Yeah,
but it's a gist. And then 4 is only 2 less than 6,
yeah.
so sorry. People are
No, so yeah.
And then so that wouldn't really matter since this down here, the width is doubled, so that would kind of even it out. But in the end, this is bigger.
You've got it.